Greetings and welcome to Productive DeFi, and this is the first lesson in becoming self-sufficient, and I really want to talk about one of the most important aspects of becoming self-sufficient as you begin to wander around and explore the DeFi network. So before I start giving you a tour of all the different protocols as well as showing you how to navigate them successfully on your own, I wanted to talk about safety. And safety is very important because in the DeFi community, there are a lot of potential scams out there and bad actors that want to target you sometimes. So it may even be a network that you might feel safe on, like Avalanche, or potentially one of these other networks, and you might become familiar with it and potentially even use them hundreds of times. But then guess what? One day, potentially, you navigate on Google and there's a maybe paid link at the top or some other link on one of the search results, and you click on it, and it could take you somewhere that looks just like Avalanche. It says Avalanche, but it might not be. And so I wanted to give you some skills to protect yourself against potentially going to some of these harmful networks. So first skill is anytime you are exploring a new protocol or a new blockchain network that you have not used before, there are two questions you really want to be concerned with. Is this protocol secure? Has it ever been hacked before? And are the DEXs and the exchanges that you're using, are those secure? And have they ever been hacked before? So before you ever use any technology, research if it's been hacked and research if it's popular and people are actually using it. So, and so here you can see Avalanche is popular, but you might want to Google and check out hacks and find out how secure it is before you use it. And same with all these other networks. Even if they're popular and they're big, still scrutinize them and question them because maybe there's something that you're just a little bit, maybe doesn't meet your risk profile, even though it could potentially be up there on the list, right? And so just be careful. And also the other part is that if you haven't used a technology before, don't just click a link on Google. Come to either CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko.com and use these sites as a reliable source to then go ahead and navigate and locate the official resources. So if I was to come here on Avalanche and click on it, you'll see that they give me the official links in the website. I would use these links from a site like CoinMarketCap.com, just make sure I'm on the right CoinMarketCap, or CoinGecko.com, and use these to locate the official links. Because sometimes doing a Google search, what they'll do is they'll put the ads, like hackers and spammers will put ads at the top, and they'll try to trick you into clicking on them. Or if you scroll down the link somewhere, or you end up on a subreddit forum or something, and there's a link on there, it could take you to a bad actor. So I would try to make sure that you just be careful and locate the official resources. And it's potentially possible that even on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, that the resource could be it could be a bad link or something somehow. So even then, still be careful. But these are more reputable ways to make sure you locate the official links. So security is very important, whether it's a new protocol, a new DeFi protocol, or a new DEX that you're using. Basically, anytime that MetaMask is popping up and saying it's trying to connect to a new protocol, I want to make sure that you're researching that it's secure before you allow anything on your MetaMask to talk to it. And additionally, if there's a protocol that you've used before, so you've seen me use this protocol, if I go in here and I was to disconnect my wallet and then reconnect it, one of the things that you'll notice is that MetaMask does not ask me for permission to access this protocol. I've already accessed it before. So if you are accessing a protocol that you've used before and it's popping up asking you for permission, that is a huge red flag. Double check your URL. Double check that you're on a safe, secure website, and highly consider what is happening, because if you've already used a protocol before and you're on the same browser and the same computer, MetaMask will not ask you for permission again. You can see here that when I go to connect to it, it does not ask me for permission again. It just simply connects. I mean, I have to click connect manually, but I don't get that pop-up saying that it's a new protocol. Whereas here's an app called Compound Finance, which I was going to talk about in the upcoming video. But just to show you, since we haven't seen it before, if I go ahead and I connect to this, MetaMask is asking me if I would like to connect and which permissions I want to give. So anytime is the first time you're using a protocol on a browser, then it should be asking you this question the first time that you're using it with your MetaMask account. So when I click next here, it's then going to ask me to give it permissions, right? So if I've already used this protocol, it should not be asking me this. And that's a huge red flag that you're on a site that is trying to look like the one you're trying to access, but it is not the one that you really want. So don't hit connect unless you've used it before. Back away and leave it. So that's just my first tip that I wanted to leave you with self-sufficiency, making sure that you're safe. And that basically just comes down to the question of avoiding being hacked and avoiding protocols that have been hacked before, and just being safe with your MetaMask wallet. Be very careful with anything that you're allowing to connect to it if you have not done your due diligence and research prior. Now, in the next video, I'm going to give you a tour of some of the well-known protocols that are out there and give you a high-level overview of what a lot of people are using now in the DeFi space. The protocols that I'm going to show you are generally considered to be safe by the community. Of course, anything is possible, and after the time that I make this video, as you know, blockchain technology in DeFi is very risky, so we don't know what's going to happen to these protocols that I show you in the future. There have been some very reputable protocols in the past that people believed in, which have gone down. So really anything can happen in DeFi, and that's why in later lessons as well, I talk about the importance of diversification and making sure that you don't have all of your assets in one particular protocol, but more on that later. So let's head over to the next video and I'll give you a tour of some of the most commonly used protocols in the DeFi space so that you can get access to a handful of protocols that you can start looking into now and have a rough idea of where you might want to potentially start your journey in DeFi, because there are thousands of protocols out there. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a handful of the most common ones so you can orient yourself. All right, I'll see you in the next video.